is just fantastic. Captain's Log, subdates 21-1213.7. On the 13th day of Moistmas, my whole crew gave to me Pokemon Sword for the Switch and a Nintendo DS. Now, if someone can tell me why the cartridge won't fit in the console, I'll be really happy. Can I have tech support? And some wine gums. On the 24th of February 2020, I released a video that did exceptionally well in views on this channel, entitled The Exhibition of Stupid People, Amy's Life Journey. The video itself has over 5,000 likes, it has over 300 dislikes, 945 comments, and the top one is 4 minutes in and all I can say is get on with it, because this was the introduction of a particular avatar. I did a whole skit. Yes, it annoyed people. I remember seeing the dislike, not only here but in other places. My apologies for that. Also, Sithy had a comment for it.
Hey, I'm not slow, mother borkers. I just wanted to piss you all off by taking not only all the best bits, but also taking my sweet ass time. Get wrecked, tossers!
Hey, look at that. I've managed to waste 1 minute and 20 of your time already. I guess we're off to a stellar start. This image you see on the screen is the timeline I put together so as to best tackle what I felt were the more prominent aspects of Amy's life journey. So yes, introduction, skit, weight loss, because in the video that I make, which is 45 minutes long, I showcase some of her exercise routines, which usually involve her sitting on a dining room chair, doing arm stuff, flapping about, waddling around her living room. Now I remember back then she was memed heavily for this. Gifs of her flapping like she was trying to take off, akin to that of Beyonce and the Super Bowl performance. The next segment was vlogs and fails. Now with this, it was because a lot of her vlogs, well, not really vlogs. A lot of it involved her husband, who she flew all the way to Egypt to marry, bring back, and have a child with. I believe she had children from a previous relationship as well, and I was fully aware that the son she had with her husband slept exclusively in the same room as, well, her husband, while her daughter, I believe, along with herself, slept elsewhere, and that door remained locked. Seemed a bit controlling, bit weird, odd dynamic, but okay. Other aspects of the vlogs would be them doing stuff together, her mukbangs, talking about her weight loss journey, or lack thereof. Who would have believed it? Someone that puts in little to no effort amounts to nothing. Amy was renowned at the point I made my video of responding to everyone that criticized her. Yes, she was that kind of gorl, a wannabe mukbanging success on a weight loss journey with a husband that is about as regressive as the caveman. Spoiler alert, she did not succeed in her weight loss journey. Well, up to a point. We don't know if she did afterwards, and we'll get to it soon. For the next segment, and I'm going to do this to annoy people, I'm going to play the part that Sithy recorded concerning the fundraiser.
Now, I realize that many people are having a hard time, especially in America, where the safety net is, well, if non-existent, then almost. It only takes like a couple of months, a couple of bad months, and you're almost destitute. So I perfectly understand the need for fundraisers. However, the American education system is flawed in so many ways. I haven't really researched, but do you even have like basic home economics and budgeting in your schools? I would like to know this, because I see so many people who don't know how to make a budget, who uses their cards for everything and thinking, I don't have to pay for it now. No, don't have to pay for it now, but you have to pay for it later along with interest. It's a recipe for disaster if you keep using your credit cards. It just stacks up. Make a budget. That is exactly what Amy should have done with her husband. They noticed a few months ago that things were going downhill. Go over your budget and you say, holy crap, we need to cut back on stuff. Like, for instance, the $300 cable deal. Do you really need a $300 cable deal? There are more important things, I would assume, like food. Now, then there's also the fact that you've been shown in your videos where you've made bets with your husband and you're flashing $100 bills when you win. Naturally, this is gonna sting in people's eyes when you just had a fundraiser because you didn't have money.
Okay, I'll stop it there. There was another point Sithy made within that, but I reduced it down a lot when it concerned getting the children involved in activities like cooking. Based on the family dynamic, that would be impossible. Couple that with the fact that when Amy was still active, there's a spoiler for you, her children were described by literally everyone as being feral. I wonder if that spoon had anything to do with it. And I guess we should mention the spoon now, shouldn't we? Luckily, I have clips in my EOSP on her showcasing some of her top-notch parenting.
But I'm just gonna eat the Whopper because like I said, it's already 12:30. Maya, please stop. Okay, the kids I'm sure don't want their straws all over your head. Why are you looking so grumpy? You can smile. You're on camera. No. Okay, Omar, do I need to get the spoon? I can even reach him. Okay, then you need to stop. I carry this with me everywhere I go. Do I ever use it? Nope. Do I threaten it? Yep.
I remember growing up as a child, the wooden spoon was used on me and I was not a fan of it. That thing, I swear, had a titanium rod go through it, because it never snapped once, and it left marks akin to that of boils. The practice of using a wooden spoon to admonish, re-educate, employ some form of shock therapy to a child is frowned upon, and in many countries it is illegal to physically harm your child as a form of discipline. But many people that watched Amy's life journey because they thought of her as a, let's say, alternate version of Amberlyn Reed, just nowhere near as successful, fundamentally disagree with this form of discipline, and because of that she got a lot of heat for it. Did she care?
Nope.
Which was another reason why I made it a point to criticize this. Sithy did also make it a point to criticize it, but again, I don't want to play too much of that particular video because I don't want you to suffer too much of the, well, us talking slowly, especially slowly, incredibly slowly. So the next segment involved animals, because dogs are unclean. You can't have those in the house. So instead, she had a skunk, known for their hygiene, of course, at the best of times. No doubt she never noticed the smell from a skunk because of her own, hygiene, possible, maybe, issues. I guess the big difference between a skunk and a dog is a skunk isn't harem. Amy has a skunk, a support animal skunk. She did an entire video about why a skunk. It should be noted, before getting a skunk, she had a couple cockatiels. Rehomed them when she was pregnant with her eldest, and the claim was that she rehomed them not because she was bored of them. During the tale, she mentioned that her husband took great issue with the idea of having a pet dog. It is in fact something quite common amongst those who are Muslim to not have a dog for religious reasons. Amy herself doesn't like cats. Upon watching the rest of your video, what I managed to learn from this was, I need a skunk to say I have a skunk, because subsequent videos of you with your pet skunk would lead me to indicate not only do you not know how to look after a skunk, but you don't seem to understand how to compel a skunk to behave. There is a creator called Mzotic. She does a fantastic video about feeding your pet skunk. This would be a direct relation to the fact you fed yours hot dogs. Processed meats are a big no-no, by the way. Skunks are crepuscular. One would make more of a concerted effort to make sure the pet is eating in the morning and evenings when they are the most active. You made a raving excuse that you couldn't get your skunk to eat skunk feed. Skunk feed, oddly enough, is fresh fruit and vegetables. For a skunk or any animal, even zoos use this, veonate. Based on what we see in the videos the skunk is featured, this skunk is nothing more than a trophy to you under the guise of therapy told me to get an animal, so I decided to get this kind of animal because this one is acceptable to my husband. The final segment in that video was about her status as a vaunted lol cow, but in reality, even Hater Nation couldn't pull mega views on this. And the reason why is because not only was she a smaller channel, but the arguments were exhausted. She would not listen. Then again, nor do the bigger ones, but the bigger ones, there is a return on that. But with her, the one major problem was the one that always stood out, and it was the fact she never really looked like she cared for her children. Which handily leads us on to the next part of where are they now? Amy's life journey took to selling tat on social media, things she'd made for a while. Not long, she doesn't do it anymore. There were rumors circulating, and if you certainly go through the Kiwi Farms thread, there was a lot of evidence provided that CPS had been involved in her life a lot more. Many spoke about the fact that neither her or husband would leave the other person. For the husband, it would be a great shame on him and honor and all that. For her, she needs him, which is strange, but alright. There was discussion of them breaking up at some point. I lost track of the thread, okay? I really did. But the one thing that really stood out with Amy, the one thing that I noticed, courtesy of 2 tweets, and I didn't believe it at first, was that Amy's Life Journey's channel on YouTube is gone. Kaput. Disappeared. Full Thanos snapped, started, gone again. Bye. 5.8k subs, down the drain. Because she had so much potential. I mean, she would have had more potential if she took her life seriously and stopped trying to jump on every fad that ever existed. Many believe the reason she nuked her channel, though, was because her children were going to school, and that with CPS being involved in her life and her children possibly mentioning this, or the video showing her being a bit too, let's say, illegal with a wooden spoon, along with bad habits at home, the quality and state of the home, that perhaps she would lose her children. Fascinating update, right? And it's all theory. In reality, it doesn't matter if she's gone or not. The only thing that matters, and the only thing that ever really mattered, was the treatment and quality of living of her children. Nothing else. In fact, I couldn't care less about Amy or her husband. Even though she flew out to Egypt to marry him, does he count as a mail order husband? Anyway, we're done with this one. I do have a few more of these Where Are They Nows left. Do let me know what you think about this particular story, a recap and current event. I know there wasn't much to go on for current, but I will link the Kiwi Farms thread if you want to go through it. It is actually quite interesting, because those guys have hoarded everything, and I love it. See you tomorrow, folks.